After failing to win over the first 3 targets, I went ahead and got engaged to Chloe, the paralyzed ace of the Sterling family. I burned through all my points just to give her the ability to walk again. But the very first thing she did after recovering was call off our engagement and throw Caleb a flashy seaside wedding. At the wedding, all 4 of my targets were staring at Caleb with straight-up adoration on their faces. Out of nowhere, I felt this crazy urge to just go home, so I turned around and threw myself straight into the ocean. Yet the moment my body hit the water, 4 figures dove in after me, their faces full of regret and fear. On the yacht nearby, Chloe, still in her wedding gown, was happily kissing Caleb. Over the crowd's cheers, the system's mechanical voice rang in my mind. Host's mission failed. You will be forcibly terminated in 15 days. A bitter smile crept onto my lips. After being reincarnated into this body, the system assigned me 4 targets. If I could get just one of them to hit 100% affection, my real body, dying from a terminal illness in my original world, would be cured. For years, I busted my ass trying to win them over, humbling myself again and again. But every single damn time, just when their affection for me was about to max out, Caleb would show up and boom, it all dropped back to 0. And now, my very last target was marrying Caleb. Thinking that, I walked straight to the edge of the deck and dove into the sea. The ocean wrapped around me as I spread my arms, letting myself sink deeper and deeper. Just then, someone grabbed me and yanked me back toward the surface. Fresh air rushed into my lungs, and before I could even process what was happening, a sharp slap cracked across my face. Did you seriously have to jump into the ocean at Caleb's wedding? Are you trying to screw this up for everyone on purpose? I wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth and looked into her disgusted eyes as that familiar ache spread through my chest. My sister Claire was my first target in this world. After this body's parents died, Claire and I only had each other. When we got into that car crash, I shielded her with my own body without even thinking, ending up in the ICU with ruptured organs. She held me and cried her eyes out, promising that no matter what, she would always protect me from then on. She said we were the only family each other had left in this damn world. But the day I got out of the hospital, I found her bringing Caleb home, announcing that he was our new brother. She even made Caleb move into my room. In every argument between Caleb and me, she'd always take his side, calling me petty and small-minded for no damn reason. The 97 affection points I spent 8 years grinding for were wiped out by Caleb in just 1 week. After that, Claire's affection for me crashed, and she even refused to acknowledge me as her brother in front of other people. Seeing me sitting there on the ground without moving, Claire pulled a bottle of heart medication from her purse and tossed it at me. Are you going to fake another heart attack? Take your pills and get lost. The truth is, I don't even have a heart condition. The chest pain was always punishment from the system. But Claire, worried about me, always carried medicine just in case. Now though all I felt was cold, I grabbed the bottle, poured out a huge handful of white pills, and shoved them into my mouth. Claire froze for a second, then screamed and slapped the pills out of my hand. They scattered everywhere as she grabbed my wrist, her voice shaking. Ethan, have you lost your damn mind? I wasn't crazy. I just wanted to go home and say one last goodbye to my real sister. I didn't say a word, and Claire shot me a harsh glare. As more guests started gathering to watch the drama, she impatiently ordered the security guards to escort me off the yacht. Just as I stepped back onto the deck, I heard the click of high heels behind me. A moment later, a sweet voice called out, "Ethan, what are you doing here? Oh my God, you're completely soaked." I turned to look at Chloe, the woman I had almost married, and a bitter feeling rose in my chest. So, she still cared about me, right? A little warmth returned to my body, which had been freezing from the ocean water. I was just about to speak when Chloe suddenly slapped me hard across the face. Do you seriously think making a pathetic scene like this will make me look at you twice? Don't be ridiculous. You ruined my wedding, and I'm not letting that slide. With that, she grabbed me by the throat and shoved my upper body over the railing. I felt the crushing pressure, but didn't struggle at all. Honestly, I figured maybe it'd be better to just die like this. So I closed my eyes, ready to accept it. But my calm reaction seemed to freak Chloe out. Realizing something was off, she stumbled back a step and stared at me in shock. Why aren't you fighting back? Why aren't you saying anything? Do you actually want to die? Would she even believe me if I explained? I tried explaining so many times before, but she always thought I was just making excuses. Every time, it only pushed her closer to Caleb. I gave a cold smile, my voice quiet but steady. I've already lost everything anyway, so I might as well be dead. Hearing that, Chloe's expression changed instantly. She grabbed my collar, her eyes glistening like she might cry. Your life belongs to me. You don't have permission to die. When Chloe and I first got engaged, her family hated my background and kept forcing her to break it off. She took their punishments again and again, beaten until her whole body was bruised, but she never gave in. When I found out, I went to the Sterling estate and took the punishment in her place. As I lay there, beaten half to death, she held me in her arms, terrified, and made me promise that I would never die without her permission. I looked up at Chloe, but before I could say anything, a petite, cute girl rushed over. Maya, my second target. She was also my best friend in this world. She planted her foot right on my face and tossed a stack of photos at me. Ethan, since you had the guts to ruin Caleb's wedding, I don't need to show you any mercy. The photos showed me leashed and beaten like a dog, pinned down and straddled, stripped naked with the word worthless carved into my skin. Maya had taken every single one of those photos herself, carefully choosing angles that showed my face clearly. She did all this just because I exposed Caleb for cheating in a photography competition and embarrassed him in public. While everyone laughed and mocked me, Maya coldly pulled out her camera to capture my humiliation. On the corner of the camera, there was an engraving. Maya and Ethan. It was a gift I had given her. Maya lost her mother when she was young, and her father kept bringing home different women who loved tormenting her. We became friends by chance, and once I was beaten so badly protecting her from one of those men that I temporarily went blind. To cheer her up, I gave her a camera and asked her to photograph all the beautiful things in the world so I could see them later. Even after my sight came back, she kept taking photos. But later, I noticed her camera was filled with more and more pictures of Caleb. If you don't get on your knees and apologize to Caleb, I'll post these photos online. Let's see how you'll show your face in public then. When I didn't respond, Maya's voice turned sharp. She grabbed my collar and yanked me to my feet, but I was so weak I stumbled and fell to my knees with a painful cry. Chloe frowned and stepped forward to help me, but Maya blocked her path. Miss Sterling, don't fall for his pathetic act. I trusted him once, and because of him Caleb can't even take photos anymore. Ethan, you were so desperate to beat Caleb for the grand prize that you hired thugs to force him into compromising photos and framed him for cheating. If I hadn't shown up in time, Caleb might have done something drastic. Hearing that, the look in Chloe's eyes turned ice cold. Get out of here. If you mess up this wedding anymore, I'll make you suffer everything Caleb went through, and then some. I staggered to my feet, and, before Chloe could finish talking, bolted straight toward the nearby Pacific Coast Highway. A semi-truck was speeding right at me. Just as I closed my eyes and braced for impact, someone shoved me hard out of the way. Chloe dragged her injured leg over and grabbed my collar. Ethan, who exactly is this little suicide stunt for? Did you really think that would make me feel sorry for you? At the same time, the system's notification chimed. Host Chloe's affection level is rising. Do you wish to resume the mission? I stared at Chloe in shock and saw her telling her assistant to cancel the wedding. She seemed to notice me looking and glanced up, but I calmly looked away. No, I just want to go home now. After a driver dropped me off at home, I noticed several scrapes on my body, covered in dried mud and blood. I was about to clean them with antiseptic when the door suddenly got kicked open. Maya stormed in and kicked me hard in the stomach. Where did you take Caleb? If anything happens to him, I swear I'll make your life a living hell. Chloe and Claire rushed in right behind her, their faces full of malice. No wonder you've been pulling all these dramatic stunts, Chloe sneered. It was all to cover your tracks. I'm telling you, if anything happened to Caleb, I'll kill you. But I honestly had no idea where he had disappeared to this time. Still, their words gave me an idea. Since they cared about Caleb so damn much, maybe they really would lose their minds if he disappeared. And maybe they'd actually kill me. Seeing that I stayed silent, a flash of hatred crossed Chloe's eyes. Looks like you won't talk unless we make you suffer a bit. She grabbed a bottle of rubbing alcohol and poured it straight onto my open wounds. The burning pain made cold sweat break out across my body. I wanted to die, yeah, but not by being tortured to death. I struggled desperately, but then something hard, like a wooden plank, cracked against the back of my head. Blood streamed down my face. I was shaking so badly I couldn't even scream. Just kill me. Seeing I was still stubborn, Chloe walked over holding a paring knife. The cold blade hovered less than an inch from my left eye. Do you think this will make us feel sorry for you? I'll ask you one last time. Where's Caleb? My face was pale, but I leaned my head back and gave a triumphant smirk. Caleb? I killed him. Dumped his body in the bay for the sharks. You all love him so much, right? All wanted to marry him. Well, that's never gonna happen now. So go ahead, kill me and get your revenge. Chloe's eyes burned with rage as she drove the knife straight into my chest. I collapsed to the floor, and just as my consciousness started fading, I heard Caleb's voice outside. Why is everyone here? I brought back some pastries. Why is there so much blood? The sudden voice made Chloe's hand flinch, and the blade shifted by an inch. I wasn't dead yet. When I woke up in the hospital, my eyes were completely devoid of light. Was I seriously just supposed to sit around and wait to be terminated? In my real world, I still had so much family, so many friends. I just wanted to see them one last damn time. I snuck up to the hospital roof, but when I looked down at the bustling street below, I eventually backed away. Just as I turned to leave, I saw someone standing behind me. Go on, jump. Why aren't you jumping? What, scared now? Or was this whole thing just another act? Olivia's eyes were dripping with pure scorn. She was my third target, and she had once chased after me like crazy. She came from a wealthy family, but her parents were old school and only valued their son. They were dead set on marrying her off to some middle-aged business partner just to help her brother out. And when she was about to jump from a building, I was the one who saved her. From that day on, she followed me everywhere like a damn shadow. Her intense pursuit slowly broke down all my defenses. To help her escape that arranged marriage, I traded away my multi-million-dollar research patent so she could be free to love whoever she wanted. But that very night, on her way to meet me for our date, she accidentally hit Caleb with her car. While she was taking care of Caleb, her heart slowly started drifting away, and she stopped talking about us being together. My mission had failed again. I thought that would be the end of it, but then Olivia caught Caleb in bed with another woman, and somehow that bastard managed to pin the whole thing on me. After that, Caleb vanished, leaving me alone to deal with Olivia's rage. For years, she made my life hell, even trying to send diseased men and women to my bed. I tried to walk past her, but she suddenly grabbed my arm and dragged me to the ledge. Half of my body was hanging over the edge as she pinned me down, her eyes shining with insane hatred. Someone like you should have died a long damn time ago. If it wasn't for you, Caleb's reputation would never have been ruined, and we wouldn't have been forced apart. Just then, Claire and the others rushed onto the roof. When they saw what Olivia was doing, a flicker of concern crossed the faces of Claire and Maya. Seeing they might actually defend me, Caleb quickly stepped forward. Olivia, what happened back then is already in the past. I don't blame Ethan. Everything he's been doing lately is just him trying to get your attention. I get it, Ethan. I don't know what the hell I ever did to make you hate me this much, to make you compete with me for everything, but I'm apologizing to you now. Please just stop all this. I can't stand seeing them so exhausted because of you. As he spoke, Caleb actually bowed to me in apology. While I was still confused, he quietly grabbed my hand and suddenly threw his weight backward, dragging both of us toward the edge. Caleb. As Caleb appeared to fall, 4 voices screamed out in panic. Olivia shoved me away with all her strength. As I was pushed over the ledge, I closed my eyes peacefully. I could finally leave. I just hoped I wouldn't land on some poor innocent person. The 4 of them caught Caleb, but I fell from the roof. I felt the weightless drop, but I didn't die. By the time Olivia and the others got down from the roof, I was already being helped off a firefighter's airbag. We got a call about a jumper here half an hour ago, one firefighter said, clearly relieved. Glad we made it in time. Hearing that, Olivia's gaze turned icy when it landed on me. Caleb looked at me with faint surprise. Ethan, so you already called the fire department. No wonder you were acting so brave. I really thought you were trying to kill me by pushing me, but I guess you were just trying to scare me, right? But you know my eardrums were perforated when you had those guys beat me up years ago. A fall from this height could have made me permanently deaf. Caleb's face looked full of lingering fear and pain as he looked at Chloe, his eyes filling with tears. I'm not afraid to die. I just can't bear leaving you. But Ethan loves you so much. I'm sure he would take good care of you even if I were gone. Chloe rushed forward and hugged him tightly, then shot me a venomous glare. Ethan, if anything had actually happened to Caleb, I would never have forgiven you. With that, she lunged forward and kicked my leg. Those legs, which had been atrophied for so many damn years, were now finally functional. But the force of her kick made my knees buckle, and I collapsed to the ground. I looked up at Chloe, who stood protectively in front of Caleb with a grim expression. But when I was the one who healed her legs, she had promised to protect me for the rest of her life. Her legs had been paralyzed in a car accident, turning her into an outcast in the Sterling family. When we got engaged, there was finally light in her eyes again. She told me I would be the only man she would ever love. But after knowing Caleb for just 3 days, she completely changed her mind. Chloe dragged me back to the Sterling mansion, where the 4 women stared at me with different expressions. Chloe pulled out her phone and played a video right in front of me. Ethan, if you hadn't caused that hit and run and left me there, I never would have been paralyzed and mocked for all those damn years. When Caleb gave me this video, he begged me not to press charges. He even got on his knees to protect you. And yet you keep trying to hurt him. Olivia, Claire, and Maya already hated my guts for forcing Caleb to leave. Now their glares felt like knives stabbing into me. Any sympathy or concern Claire and Maya might have had completely disappeared. This car belongs to the Anderson family, Chloe said coldly. You should recognize it. Chloe paused the video with a smug smile. Even though the license plate was blurred, I recognized the custom decals instantly. It was the car Claire had given me. But Caleb had sweet-talked it right out of me not long after I got it. Claire did give me that car, I said, but Caleb took it before I even had the chance to drive it. The moment the words left my mouth, everyone looked at Caleb. His expression had been weird ever since Chloe played the video. And now his face was pale as hell. Chloe, it's true. I've driven that car before. That's how I recognized it in the footage. But I swear I wasn't the one driving it that day. Ethan, you must have secretly taken the car out that day, right? I let out a cold laugh and walked over to Claire, holding my phone. They might not know, but you do. You know damn well it's impossible for me to have driven that car. As if sensing the complete despair in my voice, Claire bit her lip. Under the confused stares of the others, she slowly nodded. On the day of the accident, Ethan was not the one driving the car. Shock immediately spread across everyone's faces as their eyes turned toward Caleb. Besides me and Claire, the only other person who could have driven that car was Caleb. Caleb stared at me silently for a long moment, then suddenly smiled. If Ethan says I was driving, then fine. I was driving. Chloe, even though I wasn't the one who crippled you, I'm willing to make up for it. He ran into the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and stabbed it straight into his own leg. For figures rushed past me in a blur, and blood splattered everywhere. Chloe, Claire, Olivia, and Maya had all tried to grab the blade with their bare hands. Seeing the deep cuts on their palms, tears streamed down Caleb's face. Was it really worth hurting yourselves for me? You're the most important people in the world to me. I don't want you to hate me. I'd rather lose my legs than lose your trust. Chloe, I swear I wasn't driving that day. Chloe ignored the cut on her own hand and pulled Caleb into a tight hug. Caleb, of course I believe you. Please don't do something stupid. If anything happened to you, I wouldn't want to live either. Caleb's eyes shifted toward me. But as long as I'm around, Ethan will keep pulling these crazy stunts just to get your attention. He is my half-brother after all. I don't want to see him get hurt. Hearing that, Chloe picked the knife up from the floor and walked toward me. You want to die that badly? Fine. I'll help you. But do you even have the guts? Everything you do is just to get our attention and make us hate Caleb. I can overlook the fact that you're the reason I was paralyzed, but I will never let you hurt Caleb again. The knife glinted under the light. I took it without hesitation and pointed it straight at my own heart. But the moment the tip touched my skin, some invisible force pushed it away. It was the system blocking me. I didn't understand why. So instead, I slashed the blade across my wrist. Blood immediately poured out. Claire stumbled toward me, her eyes red with panic. She tried to stop the bleeding, but Chloe and Olivia held her back. Claire, if he really wanted to die, he wouldn't have just cut his wrist, Olivia said coldly. He's just trying to make us feel sorry for him, she added with a sneer. I bet if we leave him alone for 5 minutes, he'll run straight to the hospital himself. After all, this is the same guy who calls the fire department before jumping off a roof. As my vision started fading, I saw a victorious smirk on Caleb's face. Congratulations, host. Claire's affection level has reached 50%. Reward, 500 points. Would you like to exchange them for clear evidence from the accident scene? Yes. And then everything went black. When I opened my eyes again, I saw a face full of worry. It was Claire. She looked at me with a complicated expression, guilt and regret mixing in her eyes. I know you weren't driving that day, she said softly. Of course she knew. She had taken my driver's license long ago to stop me from fighting with Caleb over the car. And the road to the crash site had a security checkpoint where licenses were checked. There was no way I could have gotten through. But you're the one who framed Caleb with that woman to hurt Olivia and ruin his reputation. You owe him for that. So I'm asking you, please don't expose him now. From now on, you and Caleb will both be my brothers. I won't neglect you again. Claire's affection level has reached 60%. Host, do you wish to reactivate the mission? I can assist you. No. Even the emotionless system was willing to bend the rules for me. Yet not a single one of the women I had given my heart to was willing to believe me. I didn't want to see any of them ever again. I would rather die than keep sacrificing myself for them. I'm going to expose him, I said coldly. I'm going to ruin him. Claire's face turned pale, and a desperate look appeared in her eyes. Why? Mom and Dad are gone. Besides us, Caleb is the only family we have left. Are you seriously going to push him to the brink? Family? If I told you he was the one who killed Mom, would you still call him family? Claire froze, shaking her head in disbelief. That's impossible. Caleb is way too kind to do something like that. I know he's Dad's illegitimate son, but that was an accident. He never asked to be born. As Claire kept defending him, I sent a video file to her email. I had used my 500 points to find out the truth about Chloe's accident. This was a bonus gift from the system. The video showed a young Caleb sitting beside a woman, watching with venomous eyes as our mother played with me and Claire. I wish she would just die, the young Caleb said. Then my mom could be with Dad, and I could be a real Anderson. As our mother anxiously called out our names, he suddenly threw a thick branch at her feet, tripping her and sending her crashing into the pond. Along with the park security footage, there was also a montage of the 5 years of agony I endured all alone. She looked up, her face pale as hell, completely speechless. She knew I had no reason to fake anything when I was alone, which meant all that suffering was real. That was the price for your health. It wasn't even a real illness, so no hospital could ever diagnose it. She opened her mouth, her voice raspy as she said my name. Ethan, you. Caleb told me you were a player. That everything you did for me was just part of a mission. He said the system cured my illness and that it cost you nothing. So why is it that you believe every damn word he says? I cut her off with a cold laugh. But you won't believe a single thing from me. It's true. I was on a mission. But a lot of the things I did were because she was my sister, and I genuinely wanted to help her. Ethan, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Claire was sobbing, apologizing to me over and over, but honestly, her words meant nothing to me now. I wearily got up and walked to the kitchen, only to find every sharp object in the house had been removed, and bars had been installed on the windows and doors. Did they seriously think that crap would be enough to stop me? But just as I had filled the bathtub and was about to submerge myself, Maya burst in and dragged me out. I'm not letting you die until you've paid Caleb back for everything you've done. Her face was furious, but the system's voice suddenly chimed inside my head. Maya's affection level has reached 20%. Reward, 200 points. Available for exchange. One truth video. After redeeming the video, I sent it straight to Mia's phone. As long as I didn't reactivate the mission, I was still doomed to die. So before I left this world, I was going to clear my damn name. Mia glanced at her phone, annoyed. What is this now? Are you trying to frame Caleb again? Aren't you tired of faking all this evidence? But when she played the video, her eyes widened in shock. Her expertise in photography made it easy for her to tell the video was completely authentic. The video showed me shielding Maya from her father's blows, while Caleb stood nearby with her father's new girlfriend, Linda. Caleb was saying to the woman, "If you want to control Maya, you have to get rid of Ethan. I have a plan that'll make them hate each other forever." Caleb had hired some disgusting thugs to humiliate me, but they had mistakenly kidnapped him instead because Mia had run over to give him some photo paper at the exact worst moment. Mia stared at the screen, eyes wide with disbelief that Caleb could have done something so messed up. The video continued, showing another clip, Footage of Caleb cheating during the photography competition. Not only that, but it also showed him trying to destroy Mia's portfolio to ruin her chances of getting into a good art school, leaving her at her father's mercy. To protect her entry, I had let Caleb's thugs beat the hell out of me until my bones broke. But I never let go of the USB drive containing her work. Standing beside her, Claire gasped and covered her mouth. You were injured that badly that time because you were protecting Mia's project? Mia looked at Claire, stunned. Claire, I asked you before if Ethan had been hurt, and you told me no. Claire looked down, ashamed. Ethan made me promise not to tell you. And Caleb? Caleb said Ethan had been beaten up because he'd done something to betray you, and he begged me to keep it a secret. Maya stumbled back, her eyes filling with tears as she stared at the screen. How could this be? You told me Ethan framed you for cheating, and when you confronted him, he was the one who beat you up. You said he was just faking his injuries to trick me. Seeing the guilt in Caleb's eyes in the video, Maya turned to me, her expression full of pain. I'm so sorry, Ethan. He was the one lying to me all along. Caleb told me his stepfather used to beat him, that he was always getting bullied. I related to his story, so I wanted to protect him, but I never imagined. You never imagined it was all a damn lie. I finished for her, my voice light, but my eyes completely empty. Maya nodded, tears streaming down her face. Just as she was about to say something else, Olivia glanced at her phone and her expression suddenly changed. Ethan, did you post these photos online? Are you seriously trying to destroy Caleb? Photos of Caleb being caught in bed with another woman had been leaked online. In the pictures, the woman's face was hidden by her hair. That was why Olivia had been so convinced that I had hired the woman to frame Caleb. In the present, Caleb suddenly dropped to his knees in front of me, sobbing. I know you hate me, Ethan. You can do whatever you want to me, but I'm Chloe's husband now. I can't let my past ruin her reputation. Ethan, what will it take for you to finally leave me the hell alone? Chloe and Olivia rushed over to help Caleb up, their faces full of pity. Caleb will help you prove your innocence. You don't need to beg him for anything. And Ethan, Chloe added, don't forget about that hit and run. All I have to do is make one call, and you'll go straight to prison. This time, before I could even say a word, Claire and Ma stepped in front of me. Ethan would never do that, Claire said firmly. I can prove he wasn't driving. I believe Ethan too, Mia added. And I won't let you hurt him. Host, both Claire's and Ma's affection levels have reached 90%. Are you certain you do not wish to reactivate the mission? No. Do I have enough points left to buy all the remaining truth videos? After receiving the system's confirmation, I immediately made the exchange. Moments later, both Chloe and Olivia received new emails. Olivia opened hers out of curiosity, and her expression instantly turned sour. That fender bender you staged was brilliant, a woman's voice said from the phone. I hear Olivia is completely devoted to you now. So when are you going to make your move? Don't tell me you've actually fallen for her. The video showed Caleb pulling the woman into his arms. How could I? You're the only one I love, he replied. I'm only getting close to her to help you steal her company's secrets so you can finally crush your sister and take over as CEO. I heard she was chasing some guy named Ethan before this. How did you get her to change her mind so fast? Caleb scoffed. A woman that desperate for affection is easy prey. I just told her I still had lingering injuries from the accident, and she stayed by my side at the hospital. Then I mentioned how Ethan was always targeting me because of her, and she bought it completely. Hearing this, both Claire and Maya's faces went pale. They knew Olivia had believed Caleb so easily, partly because they had backed up his stories. I felt absolutely nothing as I met their guilty stares. So what's your plan to get rid of her after you get what you want? The woman asked. There was a hint of jealousy in her voice. Caleb quickly reassured her. That's easy. Her parents are dying to marry her off for business. I'll just arrange for some disgusting old man to take her. Once she's ruined goods, she won't have the nerve to be with me anymore. And then I'll just blame the whole damn thing on Ethan and walk away clean. The color straight up drained from Olivia's face. Caleb saw he was busted and opened his mouth to argue. But then the second part of the video started playing. It was seriously such bad luck that she saw us together. Caleb's voice said, but don't worry. I already told her Ethan set the whole thing up. She already trusts me completely. If I act heartbroken and leave now, I know she and those other two idiots will make Ethan's life hell. I'll just come back after the dust settles. It's a good thing they didn't get your face in the photos. Now I can just say you were some random woman Ethan hired. If they ever found out who you really are, things would get complicated. Olivia's fists clenched, her eyes locked onto Caleb with a straight-up murderous stare. The whole situation had been suspicious, but she had trusted Caleb so damn much that she never even bothered to look into it. It's not what it looks like. The video has to be fake. Olivia, I was framed. He started trying to explain. But then Chloe played the video she had received. The same woman's voice filled the room again. Before you leave the country, I need you to do one more thing for me. When you get back, I'll marry you. My little sister has been getting a lot of attention lately, and Dad is starting to favor her. She likes to go hiking up in the mountains. She'll be there this weekend. That trail has no cameras and is very isolated. I want you to make sure she's no longer qualified to be the family heir. I don't care how you do it. The camera angle shifted and the woman's face finally came into view. Seeing the familiar face, Chloe's jaw dropped in total disbelief. Sophia. The woman with Caleb was her own sister, Sophia Sterling. I've already run Chloe's car off the road, Caleb's voice said in the next clip. Even if she survives, she'll be crippled for life. Don't worry, they won't trace it back to me. And even if they do, there's already a scapegoat. The car I used was the one Claire gave to Ethan. With a trembling hand, Chloe reopened the video she had received days ago, the one from the accident. This time, she could clearly see Caleb's face behind the wheel. After he returned to the country, Sophia had been seriously pissed for angering their grandfather, so he had immediately set his sights on Chloe instead. For pairs of furious eyes now stared straight at Caleb, who kept shaking his head, his face deathly pale. Please, you have to believe me. The videos are fake. It's Ethan. He's trying to tear us apart. Chloe, how could I ever hurt you? Just as he was about to argue even more, a disheveled figure suddenly appeared in the doorway behind him. That's not what you told me, Caleb. Sophia said. Chloe, Olivia, as much as I hate you both, I can confirm that everything in those videos is true. With Sophia's testimony, the whole truth was finally out, and my name was completely cleared. And now there was only one day left of my 15-day deadline. The thought of never seeing my real family and friends again hit me hard and brought tears to my eyes when I suddenly coughed up a mouthful of blood. The four of them rushed to my side, holding me up. Ethan, we're taking you to the hospital. You're going to be okay. Just as I pushed them away, ready to accept my fate, I saw several familiar figures running toward me. It was my real mother, my sister, and my best friend. Host, new targets have appeared. Do you wish to reactivate the mission? Activate, I said with the last bit of strength I had left. In the next instant, my vision cleared and all the pain just disappeared. Congratulations, host. All 3 targets have reached 100% affection, preparing for return to original world. Ethan, please wake up. My affection for you is at 100%. I know it is. Why isn't it working? Ethan, if once isn't enough, we'll try again. I'll give my own life if that's what it takes to bring you back. Ethan, we promised we'd be best friends forever. You can't break your promise. Hearing those familiar voices, I struggled to open my eyes. Mom, Sis Lily. I'm back. A month after coming home, my body made a full recovery. At the same time, the system's voice echoed in my head one last time. Congratulations, host, on completing your mission. I will be departing shortly. As a farewell gift, I leave you with this. A series of images flashed before my eyes. After I died in that world, Claire sold everything she owned, desperately trying to find a way to bring me back. But in the end, she was left with absolutely nothing, and I never returned because I was gone. The health I had given her was taken away. Claire got into another car accident, but this time, there was no one to shield her. She could only lie there, feeling the brutal agony of her internal organs rupturing. The chronic pain from her injuries made her wish for death every single day. Maya was locked in that dark basement by her father again, clutching the camera I had given her. With me gone, her fate of being beaten by her father and his girlfriends came back. She lived in constant torment, but this time there was no one there to protect her. Without my research, Olivia's company went straight into a nosedive. To save it, her parents began forcing her on different executives in exchange for investments. The once proud Olivia had completely fallen from grace into the gutter. She woke up screaming my name from nightmares every single night, hoping I would somehow come and save her. As for Chloe, Her legs became paralyzed again soon after I was gone. Despite seeing countless specialists, she was told she would never walk again. The shareholders who had supported her all defected to her sister, Sophia. Having lost everything, Chloe faced even worse torment than before, sometimes struggling just to find enough food to eat. A few months later, the four of them managed to meet. They captured Caleb and locked him in a basement where they subjected him to every single torment I had ever suffered. When Caleb was on the verge of death, the four women knelt on the floor, clutching old photos of me and crying their hearts out. "Ethan, I know I was wrong," Claire choked out. "Please come back. You're the only family I have left." As she spoke, she coughed up dark blood, her breathing growing faint. Maya clutched a paper airplane we had made as kids, her eyes swollen and red. "Ethan, we were supposed to be friends forever. I broke my promise and I lost you." Every word she spoke sent a jolt of pain through her broken bones, her face growing whiter with the effort. Olivia's body was covered in bruises. No longer useful to her family, she had been thrown out and now sold her body just to survive. "Ethan, the only reason I'm still alive is for the chance to see you one more time. Please, I'm begging you. Come back." The engagement ring Chloe and I once shared slipped and fell. She tumbled out of her wheelchair, scrambling desperately across the floor to grab it. "Ethan, we're still going to get married, right? I'll wait for you forever." Her legs had atrophied to nothing more than skin and bone. A horrifying sight. The images faded. I let out a long sigh and smiled as I walked toward my mom and sister who were finishing dinner. "Look what I brought. Where's Lily? I thought she'd be here already. She loves Mom's cooking." Just then, I heard skipping footsteps behind me, and Lily walked in carrying a big cake. "I was getting your birthday cake. Of course, this thing was heavy. See, it's your favorite flavor. We didn't forget." Surrounded by laughter, I blew out the candles and made a new wish. I wished for my family and friends to be happy and safe, and for the people from that other world to disappear from my memory forever.